So you drove 100,000 kilometers?
Yeah, I drove 100,000 kilometers in a little over 6 years. It's a car that uses a lot of fuel, let's say, compared to what's available now.
You bought it for 40 grand and sold it for 18 grand after 2 years. That still hurts. Hello everyone, welcome to this new video. Today, as shown in the thumbnail, we'll talk about a Peugeot. We're discussing a Peugeot engine. For the past few years, Peugeot engines haven't been great, and we have a good example. And I haven't asked our guest yet if he's had any problems. I'm going to ask him right now. So, as you've seen, it's a Peugeot 508 first generation, facelift with a 1.6 THP engine. Welcome to our place.
How are you? I'm good. And you? I'm good. Yeah.
Well, anyway, thanks for coming.
Thanks for the invitation.
Thank you for coming all the way from Montauban. We'll recognize it from your sing-song southern French accent. We're in Brive here, so if you want to come, bring your car and have us present it and talk about it, especially, of course, about reliability, experience, and lots of other things. Obviously, you have a little email in the description. We're in Brive-la-Gaillarde in Department 19. Anyway, thanks for coming. And so, today, you came to show us your Peugeot.
Hello, Peugeot 508?
Exactly.
First generation facelifted version.
That's right, they're a bit nicer. The first generations did have sleeker headlights. There, a bit more.
Sleeker on the top, yes?
You can recognize it by the grille, which is completely different from the first version.
That's right.
If I'm not mistaken. That's right, so it's a 508, and we have the famous one, which is pretty famous now. Those were the twists and turns of the gasoline engine problems at Peugeot. Today it's the PureTech engines, as you know. We're not going to talk about it again, right? But we have a THP here. And what's interesting is that it's on the tip of my tongue. I want to ask you this question as quickly as possible. So it's a THP engine with 163 horsepower.
That's right.
So 165 when you're looking for the model, because actually, even though it's 163 from what I've seen, obviously, on our professional automotive software, I think they put 165 to make it easier to differentiate from the earlier versions, which are listed as 163. There you go. Even though it still has 163 horsepower. Was I clear? I'm not sure, but I think you understood. Basically, it has 163 horsepower, and it's shown as 165. Why am I saying all this? It was just to introduce the model. First question. How long have you had it, and how many kilometers have you done? So?
It's a car I bought in July 2019.
Okay.
There you go. So it's a little over 6 years old. A little over 6 years.
All right.
Which I bought used. It's from December 2017. It didn't quite have 30,000 kilometers when I bought it, and now it's going on 130,000.
So you drove 100,000 kilometers, yeah?
I drove 100,000 kilometers in just over 6 years.
Super interesting. That's really interesting. First of all, I'm going to ask the question right away. What is the biggest problem you've had with this car?
I haven't had any in 100,000 kilometers. Yeah, I basically haven't done anything on the mechanical side. Well, maintenance, yes.
Just regular routine maintenance?
Routine. There aren't any really major breakdowns on this model. There's a timing chain, so we're talking about reliability.
Normally, yes. But with this, we know that the chain tensioner can sometimes break. There's the tensioner. So there's the tensioner, I think, the hydraulic one. That doesn't work well. And then there are the plastic chain guides that can break. And you haven't had any problems.
Nothing. I haven't had anything. Great. I'm lucky to have a dealer who takes good care of it.
You still have it serviced at Peugeot?
Not anymore for a year now. But for the first 4 or 5 years I went to Peugeot. Yeah. So we checked it, we took care of it. Yeah.
Does it use a bit of oil or not at all? Not at all. That's crazy, right? It really proves once again that we often talk about reliability. Generally speaking, the THP is more or less reliable like the PureTech. Well, the PureTech is still much less reliable than the THP. But it's true that, of course, there are vehicles and engines, even the PureTech, even the THP, that fortunately don't necessarily have any problems. Otherwise, Stellantis and Peugeot would have vanished from the market long ago. Some engines still last, thankfully. For how much longer, I can't say. But today, you've reached 100,000 kilometers.
We hope it will last, yes, obviously.
Obviously. And what's interesting is that you bought it when it had 30,000 kilometers on it. Yeah. You had it. How much did you pay for it?
At the time, I bought it for 18,000 euros, registration included.
All included, in 2019?
In 2019.
And this was a car that cost what?
Brand new, which was listed in the catalog with the options. Maybe we'll talk about it all, maybe we'll talk about it later. But with the options, it was listed at over 40,000 euros.
Okay, all right. So it lost almost more than 20,000 euros in value in the span of, so you told me it's a 2017. From 2017, yeah?
In 2019.
Barely 2 years? Incredible. But well, that's what happens with new cars, you know. People say you shouldn't, I was going to say you shouldn't buy a new car, but you should, because otherwise there won't be any used cars. But it's true that when you buy a new car, well, obviously you take a hit when you sell it, and this is proof of that. Especially since at that time it was the beginning of, well, the 3008 had already come out, you know?
The 308 had come out and we were starting to get the new 508.
Yes, it was the beginning of the new 508.
There was still a difference in design, that's true. It has a slightly sharper design on the new version.
And it's true that, well, people were already starting to want SUVs, so sedans were already becoming less popular. And let's say that's the beginning of the decline in sales, production, and of course the value of sedans. And that's why, in my opinion, people only wanted the 3008S anymore. That's it. When the person traded it in at Peugeot, it was worth almost nothing. Seeing cars bought for 40,000 bucks resold for 18 grand after 2 years is really frustrating, but good for you.
But it's good for the one who comes after.
Exactly, because I'm convinced that you, on the other hand, have had it for almost 6 years, more than 6 years. And have you checked how much it costs today? Not recently.
But I saw that it doesn't have that much value.
We'll put up some example ads anyway. But that's the advantage. It's that you, in the end, you have a normal depreciation because, of course, you use it. It's been 6 years, it gets a few more miles, but you don't have the depreciation of a new one. All right, well, would you mind opening the hood for us? Yes.
Of course.
So we can take a look at this little 1.6 THP. We talk a lot about reliability, and I've said many times that the THP wasn't the most reliable engine in the world. And it's always nice. Go ahead, I'll let you open it. It's always nice, and I don't mind. That's good. Fortunately, there are some that are reliable and still running today. I always have trouble finding this little opening. So wait, where is it on here? All right, there we go. Wait.
It's here.
There you go. There are struts. There were struts back then. Let's look at this big 1.6 THP. Well, big. It's not that big. No. But it does take up space in the engine compartment. Although I say it takes up space, it's empty here and you've got room to work on it. You maintain it in a garage rather than doing it yourself.
I had it serviced exclusively in a garage.
Okay, that works. So what's good is that if you ever think about buying one, honestly, maintenance is relatively easy. We have the air filter here, I think. We have the turbo, which is rather, I was going to say, I won't say big because it's not big, but compared to other engines, it's pretty sturdy, so to speak. And we have, if I'm not mistaken, well, there's always a bit of risk, but I don't think there's a particulate filter on it, so it must just be an oxygen sensor. Downstream and upstream, or the other way around, I can't remember. What's downstream? Downstream is the front? Yeah, logically, I can't remember.
Downstream is the rear, it must be the rear, or maybe after.
You'll tell us in the comments, I know it very well. You're going to make fun of us, and you're absolutely right. So, chain-driven engine, yeah. So, no timing belt to replace, and no recommendations for the chain either.
No recommendations, we just check it a little because there were some series that had issues. Yeah, that's it, of course, yeah.
Exactly. So, we have the coils here, so logically the spark plugs are underneath, so they're easy to change too. No, it's actually an engine that seems easy to maintain, and that's pretty cool. I didn't see where the fuel filter or the oil filter was. It must be on the other side or underneath. I don't know. Where are you? Where are you? It's okay, never mind. But okay, anyway, what's good is that really you didn't have any problems. Not at all. And that's cool. No, what was the biggest maintenance you had to do on it? I don't know if you had to do any...
No, there are maintenance checks every other time, so it's a small oil change and a major service.
You always get an oil change, but sometimes you also get the air filter.
There are filters every other time, that's all.
That's it, exactly. The cabin air filter.
And that's the main maintenance I've done on it. And nothing else. I changed, well, probably the brake pads at 120,000, luckily, yes.
Obviously.
But on the other hand, the discs are still, yeah.
They're still the original ones. There you go. Yeah, they're still the originals. On the other discs, in the back, in the front too.
Yeah, they are worn out.
Yeah, but there's still some left.
If we're careful, they're fine.
And by the way, speaking of that, so we have tires that are pretty thick, so it's going to be comfortable. The rims are pretty nice. They're not big rims. What is it? 16? It's 17.
It's 215/55. Yes, that's it.
215/55, 1798 W. You've already had to change the tires, I imagine. Yes. Do you remember?
So the tires, I have Michelin on mine.
Yeah, that's what I see.
The tires are reasonably priced, about 150 euros per tire. That makes 300 euros for a set of tires installed.
Yeah, and it's Michelin too.
So it's Michelin and it's just 17-inch tires.
Yeah, but 17 inches today is basically a standard size that's everywhere. That's right. So actually, in the end, we were talking about it not long ago. With 16 inches, it costs a fortune because it's kind of an odd size, as they say, that doesn't really exist much anymore. Whereas with 17 inches now, that's not the case.
They're everywhere.
So the tires aren't that expensive after all.
And in terms of comfort, compared to the GT model, which comes with 18 or maybe even 19-inch rims, I think it goes well with the 508's chassis. It's quite comfortable. Yeah, it's good. A real Peugeot chassis.
Exactly, it's still a good, comfortable car that handles well. And you have full LED headlights up front.
And I have full LED, so it's the trim level, it's alluring. So the Allure doesn't have them as standard. The LED headlights are on the Faline and the GT. So it was an option. It really lights up very, very well. There's the automatic high beam switching, the automatic high beams that can be turned off.
Yes, you can turn it off. There you go. And do you have, since it's LED, I don't know, do you? Yes.
I have the fog lights that light up in the corners.
Yeah, that. For example, when passing another car, does it turn off the high beam on one side and keep it on the other? Yeah, okay, that's good. It works well. We'll see more about that inside later. We were talking about it earlier just before, so now there's the second generation of the Peugeot 508. To prove that it's an excellent car, an excellent road car, whether it's diesel or gasoline, if you want all the information about the 508, whether it's this one or the diesel, you obviously have the reliability sheet in the description. Don't hesitate to check that out on LPD Conseil, lpdconseil.fr. I was saying that because what proves it's a super comfortable car, it's that the ride-hailing cars in big cities, that's all there was, back in the day.
Yes. There was a time when it was all black 508s and they were everywhere, driving all around the big cities.
Yeah? And proof that the new one is less comfortable, less spacious inside, well, is that there aren't anymore. The ride-hailing cars don't use the 508 anymore. And considering how many were bought by ride-hailing drivers, I think it really caused quite a loss, in quotes, of sales for Peugeot with the 508. That's a big difference, which is pretty crazy. What was I saying earlier? 560,000 units sold, I think. We'll put the number on the screen for you, but I think that's it. Can you close the hood? Of course. By the way, the hood has a little strut. Let's go check out the trunk. Come on, let's see what it's like. A little color that's kind of blue-gray.
It's the navy blue from Peugeot.
Boraski blue, so just like on the side in the Zero. And yes, just like back in the day.
In the Zero or at the key?
Okay.
So that's one of the regrets. It's that now they're all, yes.
You don't have the right tailgate.
They're all electric. And the first negative point about the 508 is that when it rains, if you open it all the way, it rains inside.
You have a trunk lid that swings down into the trunk. It's a bit silly. Okay.
There's space. There's a very nice trunk.
We'll obviously put the volume on the screen, and then, of course...
They said it had 508 liters. Yes, there you go.
Well, we'll see about that. There you go.
There's a real spare wheel.
Okay.
There's a real 17-inch spare wheel.
And hide it underneath. There we go.
Okay, 17-inch, perfect.
On a steel wheel, not an alloy one though, so...
I have it here. Do you have it in...
Alloy? Alloy?
Nice, okay, fifth one secured, perfect.
Perfect. So yeah, there's room. Now, the problem with the trunk, obviously, is that there's obviously less
of it. It's less convenient than a station wagon. It's really clearly less convenient than a station wagon.
Exactly, but if you want convenience, you can also get a station wagon.
It obviously exists as a station wagon. It also exists as a station wagon.
Yeah, as for me, I never really wanted a station wagon.
I wasn't necessarily looking for the practicality of a station wagon.
Okay, the handle...
The trunk is big enough for 4 adults' luggage, yes.
Yes.
It's good, and honestly, I prefer sedans. So that's why I turned to this one. Okay.
I'm going to go sit in the back. There we go. You get a nice trim, which you'll also see in the front, plus a mix of leather and fabric. That's cool. There's honestly plenty of space.
The seat is adjusted for someone who's 1.85 meters tall.
Side by side, you're comfortable with an armrest and foot grabber.
So we can see this.
Whatever you want. We can see the headliner, which has a bit of a bump, because actually there's the sunroof. That goes inside the roof, actually. Adding a small lacquered mirror and electric windows is a nice touch. These Peugeot cars are still good. There's a 12-volt outlet here, which is handy. Do we have latch anchors? Yes, that's good, because it's true that for kids it's always useful to know. The little cup holder, obviously here. And you were saying, so you grab onto the hatch too. Perfect, in case you want to put skis or a wooden beam or a 300 kg steel beam in your 508. You're exaggerating just a little, obviously. Well, okay, that's not bad. We're pretty comfortable. We're sitting well. There's space. That's cool, though. You're comfortable, know you can travel, and understand why rideshare drivers pick the 508. It's affordable and comfortable. Exactly. Well, go ahead here. I'll let you sit next to me. I'll take your place, just for the video, of course, right? So before getting in, electric windows. Electric mirrors, you can obviously lock the windows and the doors. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. And so we have seats, like I was saying, in leather and fabric, so leather and cloth. Electric seats, yes, the adjustment is done.
On the side, which are also heated.
Great. And for you too, the adjustment is electric? Yes.
On the passenger side too.
Because often, sometimes you only have it for the driver. Exactly. And then, well, after that, we'll get settled in, right? There we go. Let's put it in. This makes me laugh because the ignition is on the left. I won't say which car has that, but those familiar with Porsche will know. So there's even the key. You insert it on the left, but we're not in a Porsche. We're clearly in a Peugeot 508. So what do we have? Tachometer, fuel gauge, oil temperature. I'll get there, sorry. And water temperature over there, and the speedometer, which we're going to look at right away. You're going to click it for me. I don't know where. We obviously want to know the fuel consumption of this car. So do you have it in...
Fuel consumption?
On a screen, you can tell us too, of course. But do you want us to start it? We'll start it. Also, it's an automatic. I hadn't noticed. Cruise control is on hold, but overall, it's pretty good. There's even a head-up display, although the open door might be an issue. So, over 6,450 kilometers, 6 liters per 100 kilometers. Yes, that's crazy.
Right, yeah. So it's a car that uses a lot of fuel, let's say, compared to what's available now in the city.
Yeah, I guess.
The weight and automatic transmission don't help, so we're getting about 10 liters per 100 kilometers in the city.
All right, okay.
There you go, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, but you're doing the right thing.
You have to say, well, at a steady speed, like I took the highway to get here, we're kind of at between
6
and 7, let's say.
That's not much, huh? Honestly, it's a big car, it's a big piece of junk. Maybe gas, powerful? Yeah. With an automatic car...
It's actually pretty reasonable.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised, but in the city, of course...
Well, in the city, the restarts are, well, of course...
When you have to stop, yeah.
There's the stop and start.
The stop and start, really stop. I noticed you have the JBL.
There's the JBL, yeah, so you can recognize it with that on the dashboard.
That's on the dashboard.
And the subwoofer that's in the trunk.
Okay, it's well padded. This is still the 508. It's still a somewhat high-end car, at least for Peugeot.
Well, it was the high-end model at one point.
Yes. So head-up display, like I was saying. So on a small screen that opens up, it's not directly projected onto the windshield. We have the electric parking brake.
And underneath you have the compartment that opens, which allows you to put the key in when the battery in the key fob doesn't work anymore. Yes, it can still start your car.
Yes, you put the key in there.
And you have the display adjustment?
Actually, okay, for the head-up display, and then you can turn eco off and ASR off too, okay? And you can open the trunk from here and the fuel door.
That's it.
Nice, okay. So here, cruise control, speed limiter.
It just has cruise control and a speed limiter, no distance setting. It's an older vehicle.
The paddle shifters on the steering wheel.
The paddle shifters on the steering wheel with the automatic transmission, yes. The navigation system compared to the pre-facelift version is now touchscreen. All right. The pre-facelift version has a small dial under the gear lever.
Okay.
So you can adjust that with CarPlay and Android. Great. There you go. Perfect. You can control it with certain buttons. All right, okay.
You here?
Use your voice assistant here. Perfect.
And so you have a box, so the AC, well, that...
It doesn't have. It's a good one, obviously.
It's well finished. You have cup holders.
There are 2 cup holders here. Oh.
Impeccable. And so automatic transmission. Yes, yeah. In sport mode, in snow mode, snow, yeah. So that's to avoid slipping in the...
And you can switch to full manual with the paddles, okay?
Yeah, that's it.
So it's a system that's pretty useful because the gearbox, well, it's not exactly the most... Yes?
It's not the best in the world.
The quickest on the market, especially when downshifting. It's good to downshift yourself.
Yeah, they're not the newest. By the way, what transmission is it? I didn't check.
It's an 86.
It's still an 86.
Yes.
86. Yeah, I wasn't sure, but okay, all right. And then you have heated seats. That's what you were telling me.
The heated seats, so that's an option on the Allure with power seats.
Great, there you go. Yes, with electric seat adjustment, that's it.
That's for washing the car.
Yes, I see that. And here you have a little...
So it opens on the side, yes, okay, on this one.
Perfect. And you have little USB ports. I'll just...
Yeah, there are 2 outlets. There are 2 USB ports.
2 USB ports, that's cool. Okay, well, perfect. And here the little ashtray. I suggest you still smoke in the car.
We're still allowed to.
Exactly. We could still do it. Well, okay, we're not too bad, right? Is there anything you feel is missing as an option that you would have liked to have on this car? Well, clearly.
It's a car that's about 10 years old, even 15 years old in terms of design. So the infotainment system it's not the latest 12-inch tablets. It's not quite the same thing, of course. When you're driving, there are features, there's traction control, there's ESP, but...
Yeah, you don't...
It stops there.
You still have, sorry to cut you off, do you have the rear parking sensors, the camera or not? In front?
In the back and the camera, so you have it, okay?
We'll see about that. On that?
I'll set it up from my place.
Yeah, and it's okay, we can see. There's the camera.
The resolution is fine, yeah.
That's true. We're indoors now, so there's no light or brightness. It's fine. You were saying...
There are blind spot detectors, that's pretty good. On the mirrors, okay. Now it's quite, on these models, it wasn't necessarily before. On these...
During those years, it definitely wasn't there. And the small sunroof.
And so the little sunroof.
Which isn't common either, by the way.
Which isn't common on the sedan, so the SW wagon has the large panoramic roof.
Yeah, that's actually why.
Which was quite common in the early 2010s, that's true. And here there's a sunroof, a small sunroof, that's true. It's not the panoramic one from the new generations, but it's pretty good.
That's already something, huh? That's already something. There's no huge panoramic roof.
And then it opens or it cracks open. Okay, all right. The rain sensors.
Okay.
Détecteur de pluie.
Yes, the automatic windshield wipers, photosensitive sensor.
When it does
When it's dark, it also dims, so you don't get blinded by the high beams of people who sometimes drive behind you with their high beams on.
That's it, exactly.
I really feel like going for a little drive.
Well, let's go for a drive.
So I suggest we go right away.
Let's go.
We're closing the doors, just like that. Come on, let's go see if it's as comfortable as they say.
That's right. So with the JBL, you have the windows that are a bit thicker.
Yes, exactly.
They're just a little bit thicker.
Exactly. And here, this is typically the kind of car you don't often see with a gasoline engine. So it's really interesting to be able to get your opinion on the fuel consumption and everything. And also, even regarding the driving comfort, I'm interested in being able to try it because it's true that these are often cars you find with diesel engines, not gasoline engines. And I think today, maybe it's easier for you. Anyway, it's easier to sell it used than it used to be because now people are looking for gasoline engines even in sedans, whereas before, poof.
Yes. So there was a time when clearly a Crit Air 2 it was an issue. So some people got rid of their diesel cars. That's kind of what I did too, you know.
The door behind the gentleman. Yes, because for you it's a Crit Air 1.
For me it's a Crit Air 1, so it's gasoline. The difference in consumption, well, it's significant, of course, compared to diesel. On the other hand, when you don't drive a lot, I do between 10,000 and 15,000 a year, mostly on the highway. The difference isn't huge. Yeah, okay. In the end, yes, no.
But that's for sure. Also, it's true that here, we're talking about the most powerful gasoline engine available for this model.
It was the top of the range, that's what you wanted.
The most powerful one when you wanted and bought it, so...
I didn't necessarily want a VTI 120 horsepower because they also had some issues, some problems, so yeah.
And it's a bit light maybe for this
type of car. And clearly before I had the pre-facelift model with the HDI 115, it was pretty good, but it wasn't crazy. A4, yeah. A4.
But you still had one? You had one? Yeah, so you had the phase 1?
Before, I had the pre-facelift model with the HDI 115, very good car too. Yes, also, yes. After 1600 or 115 horsepower HDI, loaded A4, it's a bit tight, yeah.
And how long did you keep that one? And I kept it...
I kept it for 5 years, all right? Okay. And I used to drive a bit more back then. I bought it with 20,000 kilometers and I sold it. It had almost 200,000 kilometers.
No, it's true. The 508 is comfortable and the seats are nice. The cushions are super soft, not hard seats like on a BMW, on a 3 Series, for example, even though this is kind of a mix it's somewhere between a BMW 3 Series and a BMW 5 Series, maybe not as big as a 5 Series.
Yeah, it's slightly larger than a BMW 3 Series.
But a little smaller than a BMW 5 Series.
And that's really what I was looking for. It's the comfort compared to, by the way, look, there's one passing by. Well, yes, that's really what I was looking for. It was a comfortable car.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, I mean, for you now, we just went over a little bump there and you don't feel anything at all. You hear it, but you don't feel it. No, it's true that it's the gearbox. You see, well, there are no jerks. The gears shift smoothly. Well, obviously, I'd have to drive it for miles and miles to really get a sense of it. But
going uphill, the gearbox is good. It's responsive, pretty quick to respond. The sport mode is quite effective. Highway exits in sport mode are lively, let's say. Okay, well...
No one else is exiting the highway, so I'll take the roundabout exit. It's warmed up and everything's fine.
We're going to have an S displayed in the middle.
I'm going to stay in automatic mode.
if the...
You can really feel the 163 horsepower. It's going to shift automatically for me, but that's fine.
So the gears shift in normal mode around 2000 RPM.
And in sport mode? In sport mode?
A bit higher, yeah.
I'm not sure how much it weighs, but we'll add the weight. It must weigh a little.
I don't have it in mind, but yeah.
It must be close to 1.5 tons, I think.
Yeah, we're at about 1.4, 1.5 tons. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What I really like about gasoline engines is that they're quiet.
It's very quiet. There's no diesel vibration. In the end, the engine goes well with the 508 because it's an engine that doesn't mind revving up a bit and being pushed a little, okay? But on a daily basis, well, driving at 90 on a main road, it's quite...
Pleasant. It's at 80.
It depends on the signs, though. It's quite pleasant. Yeah, it's quite pleasant.
No, but it's a car that's pleasant. Even with this engine, of course, diesels are good. They're torquey. Here, you can tell you're in a gasoline car, so you have to go look for the power a bit higher up when you need it.
That's right. You shouldn't hesitate to press down because it's a gasoline engine, obviously.
That's kind of the advice, quote unquote. People don't necessarily realize it when they switch. There are a lot of people who switch to gasoline when they used to have diesel, and it's nothing like gasoline. Just look at the revs. You know, it usually goes above 6,000 RPM, while a diesel stops at 4,500, 5,000 at most. A lot of people who switch to gasoline after having a diesel say, hey, there's no power, it doesn't move, even though I have a turbo, it doesn't drive the same way.
It drives differently. It took me a while to adjust, especially since it's my first automatic. Before, I had a diesel with a manual transmission, so it's different in terms of engine braking. It's really different. During the first year, I drove almost all the time in manual mode, almost always, specifically with the paddles. With the paddles, which are actually pretty responsive, just to get back into the habit of revving up a bit to pick up speed, because there's also the weight.
Well, yeah, no, but it's true that anyway, it really does its job well. You know, it's a comfortable car, it's big, you sit well, you have space, you have room. Bastien, a good question. Insurance, obviously.
Thank you, Bastien. Thank you. The solution, insurance in the provinces with 50% bonus. I'm under 500 euros for the year, full coverage. 480, something like that, yeah. Before I was in the Paris region, there's a gap, but it's not, yes.
It's a bit more expensive in...
It's a bit more expensive in the Paris region, but the gap isn't huge. The insurance premiums are still lower than the German competitors. Well, yes, like a 3.7 or a...
Of course, yeah, of course. No, okay, it's not super expensive with a 50% no claims discount with a 50 bonus. So, no, it's fine. It's less than, like you said, it's less than 50 euros per...
Less than 50 euros per month.
Per month, so honestly, it's pretty good. And I guess you've had your license for a little while now.
Yeah, since 2001, yeah.
2001, yeah. It's been more than just a little while. How old am I? 37?
So, well, 25 years of experience, actually.
Yeah, that's right. I got it when I was 18, so it's been almost 20 years. It's been 19 years. I've had it for almost 20 years. Okay, got it. Here, with the gear shift, you have to move it over because it doesn't go straight.
There's a little step, actually. There are little ones.
There are little steps, and so the backup camera is mounted low. You know, well, it sees, it's really...
above the license plate, so it's...
You don't see very high, not very high. But, well, you see, the main thing, you know, I want to say, obviously there's a sensor too. Honestly, it's not so... it's not that bad. The backup camera, you have backup cameras. Even today on 2022 models, I won't say the brands, but that are really, well, you have to wait what's there. I think we've covered everything unless you have something, well... Not much of... Anything special to say.
I'm really happy with this car, which is really, it's really a really nice surprise in terms of reliability. Well, yeah, you see, I'm happy
that we
hear now about the PureTech, the 1.6 THP, which is, yeah.
Yeah, even with the THP, there are still several problems.
There were also?
Yeah, but it's true that you're on the latest version, so obviously it's always a bit more reliable. Obviously they're not, it's always the advice I give when buying a car, try to get the facelift, because often the problems are fixed, or at least they're less than on the early versions that just came out. And it's the customer who tests it. So yeah, if you had to change your car today, you would, well...
I'd have a hard time, yeah. Would you get another gas car? I would probably get another gas car. I really like the Alfa Giulia, the sedan, that's it. Well done. That's it. The Alpha, I really like the Alpha Giulia. I hesitated at the time when I replaced my previous 508 with a Volvo S60. Yes, that's right. Which I liked quite a bit with the boomerang taillights in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. I liked it quite a bit. I chose it because in terms of running costs, the insurance is still a notch lower. Yeah.
Because with Volvos, it's always the same. The insurance companies look at the number of models and used parts, because now they use a lot of used parts when repairing a car. And it's true that with a Volvo, well, there are a lot fewer of them at the scrapyard, so to speak. That's it. Whereas a Peugeot 508, of course, so it's more expensive, obviously. All right.
So Volvo, and so I don't know, and Giulia, maybe Giulia next, yeah.
With a gas engine too, yeah.
With a gas engine too?
Like that, you'll let a year or two go by, and then you'll become, obviously, I'll come and bring her to you.
Introduce her to you?
Yeah, of course. With pleasure. For me, the Giulia is the most beautiful car. So, well, listen, thank you. It's true that. Well, S, so I'll wrap up now with that. But so, it's a Peugeot 508 that is built for driving in comfort. It's a car that's made for that, and it is comfortable. And, well, so it's made for driving. It's true. That's why all the ride-hail drivers had one. It's very comfortable and spacious. And this isn't even the wagon, so you'd have even more trunk space with that.
There's even more space, but
we're still talking about good cars. Now, of course, there's always the question, is an Audi A4 better? Is a Passat better? Or, you know, a 3 Series, but a 3 Series is a bit smaller, so maybe a 5 Series, but those are not at all the same prices. That's it. It's not at all the same price for insurance, parts, maintenance, and obviously the purchase price, but it's a very good car, so listen, thank you very much for coming. Thank you so much for coming from Montauban. It's over an hour's drive to see us, so I hope it was worth it for you.
it was great.
Yeah, it was perfect, it's cool. Don't hesitate if you have a car, any kind, whether it's sporty or even more normal, I'd say, don't hesitate to send a quick email to the address in the description. You'll have to come here, yes, from La Gaillarde, obviously, but it's not bad. The weather's not too bad. And the coffee is good. The coffee is good. The coffee is good. Yeah, well, the coffee is good.
So,
Yeah, it might be a bit far to come just for a coffee, but, well, we can talk about cars.
to come here, actually, they're really nice. Actually, they don't look like it, but they're really nice, actually.
But no, come on, don't hesitate. And then it's always super interesting for me. Because there aren't only sports cars in life, quite the opposite, actually. There are almost only regular cars. There's no word for it, because normal, that's automatically negative compared to sports car. But there are cars, everyday cars, daily drivers, cars for daily use. It's actually super interesting because people, well, that's what they're looking for. And I really like trying, honestly, typically that's really the kind of thing I would never have tried, because it's rare to find a 508 with a gasoline engine.
They sold over 90 of them as diesel, so...
So it's super interesting, and having your feedback on a THP as well, which is sometimes supposed to be, well, unreliable, but here, over 100,000 kilometers, zero problems. Zero problems. Were you paid by Peugeot?
Is that it? Not at all, not at all. I wish.
I wish too, but now it's over. I can't anymore. Anyway, thanks, and leave a like, subscribe, and see you next time.